Hello, guys. I welcome everyone to Oronto TV channels where we publish news on politics, entertainment, and celebrity news. Before you watch any of our videos in this channel, please we request that you subscribe to our channels to stay updated with the latest news and happenings around the world today. My good people, I want to take us to the news today on what the Lady of Songs, activist journalist Onyeka Onwenu have said. The Igbo people will make no apology for going to war with Nigeria, as according to her, the Biafra was a war brought on them, and they had to fight it in self-defense. She made this statement in Lagos at the Never Again conference organized by Nzuko Umonna, an Igbo cultural group, to mark the 50 years since the end of Biafra War in 1970. As recalled, how her widowed mother's property was seized in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, and after the war. So, my good people, I want to take us to this news. Let's hear what the Lady of Songs, our own daughter from Biafra land, Onyeka Onwenu, said concerning what happened rather, during the Civil War and the pains that the war inflicted on Biafran people. The caption: Biafra, Ndi Igbo have no apologies for going to war with Nigeria, Onwenu. Nigerian's Lady of Songs, activist journalist Onyeka Onwenu have said the Igbo people will make no apologies for going to war with Nigeria, as according to her, the Biafra was a war brought on them and they had to fight in self-defense. Onwenu, who spoke on Monday in Lagos at the Never Again conference organized by Nzuko Umonna, an Igbo socio-cultural group, to mark 50 years since the end of the Biafran War in 1970, also recalled how her widowed mother's property was seized in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, after the war. She said, the Biafra is a very sensitive and painful matter that ought to be addressed. This is a subject matter that is very close to our hearts, she said. It's very personal to very many of us, very sensitive matter, very painful matter indeed. And yes, some of us have lived with some bitterness, and we make no apologies about that. We are a people in war, led into war, not by our own wishes or design, but in self-defense. No apologies, Nigeria. No apologies to the war. But here we are. I was born and raised in Port Harcourt. My father, Dike Onwenu, was the first R&D Zog man in the Federal House, and he was representing Port Harcourt constituency. He was the principal of Enitona High School. He was a brilliant man, but he died too early. I'm from Abia State, since I am an Arrow daughter. I'm from Imo State, R&D Zog, and I'm also from Anambra, where my mother comes from. I can go there and live, and nobody can stop me. I am also from Lagos State. I married a Yoruba man. I have two Yoruba children. Onwenu said she fought the Biafra War and recalled many children and aged people dying in her care. She regretted that the war has not yet ended and warned those still fighting the Igbo to be careful. I fought the war as a young girl between 14 and 17 years, and I lost many relatives. I carried babies who died in my arms. I treated old people who took days to die. People were dying of hunger. Even our own soldiers were dying out of hunger. But thank God we survived. When my father died at 40, he was a politician and also a principal. But he didn't have much money. In those days, you had to keep your day job, even if you were a member of the House of Representatives. Yes, my mother, an Anambra woman, was a trader. She was richer than my dad. So my dad would borrow money from her to buy land and he never paid back. You know how it is with husband and wife. at the end of the year, at the end of the war. I couldn't go back to Port Harcourt. My home was abandoned property. Those of you who come from Port Harcourt know the story. The home that a widow, my father had only laid the foundation. When he died in an accident, the building that a widow built was raised as an abandoned property. Was seized as an abandoned property. And living just adjacent to us on Hospital Road were the Ikokus. In fact, I thought we were related because every family in Port Harcourt was together. You didn't care where anyone came from or who they were, whether you were from Port Harcourt or not. Every parent had the right to reprimand a child he or she saw misbehaving. Port Harcourt was a beautiful town, but we couldn't get back to it. So for me, the Civil War never ended. It is still going on. My poor mother went back to Port Harcourt to claim her property, and she was beaten into a coma by people whom she had helped all her life. People she had helped to send to school. Because she is an Igbo woman, and now Port Harcourt belonged to another group of people. They forgot the sacrifices that the Igbo made. It is still going on. No apologies have ever been made about that. The road that is now referred to as Harold Williams Road used to be Nigeria Onwenu's road. That's on account of the sacrifices that the Onwenus, the Ikokus, and the rest made in building up Port Harcourt. Here I am. I traveled outside, thanks to my sisters, who was at Harvard at that time. But we all came back to develop Nigeria. I have tried with the little talent that God has given to me to use it to the betterment of my society and my country. But if I were a Yoruba or a Hausa woman, I would probably have had more patronage, more help, and more support than I have gotten by my self-help effort to raise this country up. But I am not asking anybody for anything. I put myself through school. My widowed mother did her best. I was working 2 jobs in America to put myself through school. I didn't want to take the Nigerian scholarship because they were giving it to everybody. Those who deserve it and those who do not. And many of them were not even in school. In my anger at Nigeria, I'm angry at Nigeria. I'm angry at this government, which seems to be letting us down. I'm angry at us as a people. I'm angry at my people, Ndibo. Because he who is rejected doesn't reject himself. Stop complaining and do it yourself. We have always been able to do that rather. How did we build Imo Airport? Nobody built it for us. We spent many years raising money. I was traveling all over the country to do free concerts to raise money for Imo Airport. That's who we have been. And I remembered that in those days, if the Igbo State Union decides, that is it. Everybody follows the line and gets it done. Guys, this is the news coming from our own daughter, our own mother, in the person of Onyeka Onwenu. She just stated what actually went on during the Civil War, how she suffered, how the Igbos were being treated after the Civil War, when those of them that had properties in Port Harcourt, River State, came back to claim their property. Suddenly they came back to discover that, their property has been taken over by the Rivers people. And even her mother was beaten up by those she sacrificed a lot to help before the war. She remembered also how she carried babies that died and how she treated wounded soldiers before they even died. She said Biafra is a very sensitive and painful matter that ought to be addressed. Also, that this is a subject matter that is very close to our heart. She said it. It's very personal to very many of us. Very sensitive matter. Very painful matter indeed. And also, Some of us that have lived with some bitterness, that we make no apologies about that. That we were a people in war, led into war, and not by our own wishes or design, but in self-defense. No apologies, Nigeria. No apologies to the war. But here we are, that she was born and raised in Port Harcourt, that her father, D.K. Onwenu, was the first Zog man in the Federal House of Representatives, representing Port Harcourt constituency. He was the principal of Enitona High School. That he was a brilliant man, but he died too early. That she is from Abia State, since she's an Aro daughter, and also from Imo State, from Arondi Zog, and also from Anambra, where her mother comes from. So she said she married a Yoruba man, have 2 Yoruba children. Onwenu said she fought the Biafran War and recorded many children and aged people dying in her hand. She regretted that the war has not yet ended, yet there is a still cold war going on between Nigeria and Biafra, especially how the Igbos are being marginalized, how the Igbos are being treated in this country. She keep on mentioning that, telling us what transpired, telling us how the Igbos were being treated after the war, how a lot of people lost their properties, a lot of people lost their loved ones, and many people died because of that. Some died, a lot of people died because of hunger. There was kwashoko, heavy kwashoko during that time, and also soldiers died too. So she was just letting us know what happened. And this 50 years has gone by, yet this war continues. This war still continues, and nothing has actually been done about it. That Nigeria, as a country, had to put into consideration that a lot of agreements reached that saw the war coming to an end, and those agreements has not been met. And this is what Nigeria, as a government, had to look into in order to make sure that, yes, this war comes to an end. Not a physical war, rather, but there is a cold war going on. Political war, economic war, and emotional war taking place in the country. And all this thing affects one particular region of this country, which happens to be the southeastern region. So that is what our own daughter, our own mother, is telling us, that the war really brought a lot of disadvantage to the people of Biafra. Please, before you go or before you leave, you can kindly drop your comments below. Let me know your mind concerning this issue. And also, don't forget to also subscribe and share our videos to WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter platform. Also, we really want to draw to your attention that we are doing a draw for the lucky people that have subscribed to our channels, and also to our prospective subscribers. We are giving away 5 iPhone 11 Max as our own way of appreciating our subscribers this Xmas season. And also, the offer runs till the end of February 2020. Please, if you have subscribed to our channel, kindly let us know for record purposes. And if you are yet to subscribe, kindly click on the red subscription button and also the bell icon. The bell icon will allow you to get notified whenever we drop a new video. As soon as the draw is over, the 5 lucky winners will be informed, and the phone will be sent to them based on the contact of their details. So guys, I thank you once more, my Biafran brothers and sisters, for tuning in to Oronto TV. And also, thank you, and may God bless you all.